Everybody, welcome back. This is another video in our series of unpacking and just talking about solar technology on the whole. If you haven't watched our last video, I encourage you to do so. It speaks a little bit about two specific technology types that you can consider for any type of business. In the context of the conversation that we had last time, we spoke about manufacturing. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit more about the practical steps that you can take in terms of engaging with us, Big Fish Projects, as a service provider and a partner to your business, so that we can start understanding what your needs are and how we can address those needs. So first of all, we can quite easily conduct a desktop feasibility. And it's easy to do, it's very quick. So how does that work? As a first step, what we require from you is at least 12 months utility bills or electricity bills. You send us your electricity bills and we can then dive into the information contained on the bill itself. Now, some of the information that's pertinent for us to look for is first and foremost the amount of electricity that you consume. So we want to determine what your total consumption is on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and then on an annual basis. And the annual component is quite important because there are seasonal influences, if I can put it that way, when considering solar as a technology. And sometimes, depending on your type of business, your load profile changes. So in the summer months, when it's hotter, you might use more air conditioning, which is a big consumer of electricity, depending on the type of air conditioning system or technology that you have in place, and whether it's modern technology or if it's older technology. So by default, older technology tends to be more demanding and consume more electricity, where more modern technology is more efficient. It's just by virtue of how things have progressed and been updated over the years. And then on the flip side of that, in the winter months, you potentially use more heating, which is also a big consumer of electricity. And then for the seasons in between, your load profile might change. So it's important for us to get a view of your daily consumption, your weekly, your monthly, and then your annual on the whole. Then we have to identify whether you only consume electricity during the day and there's no one at the business or on the premises at night, and if it's only a very little base load, or perhaps you have a 24-hour operation and you have a similar consumption profile for the daytime and for the nighttime. And it's important to identify and differentiate these different types of loads, especially if you are seeking some type of backup, like a battery, in the event of load shedding, or if you want your business to move as far away from municipal or grid supply and you want your nighttime load to be catered to by a battery. Then it's important for us to differentiate what you consume during the day, what you consume during the night. So it's quite easy to get into the first stage of our process that we adopt at Big Fish Project. Another important bit of information that we extract from the bill is your tariff. So we look at the kilowatt hour cost, so the amount of money that you pay for each kilowatt hour that you use. And that is then used to calculate your return on investment and a lot of other financial metrics that are incorporated into the proposal. So with your billing for 12 months, we can then also identify your physical address, and with that information we can conduct what we call a desktop feasibility. Once we have the final information as an output for the proposal, we can come and sit with you and we can have a look at a budget. So we are able to estimate a system size that will cater to your needs, whether you are only seeking cost saving, which would be a grid-tied solution, or if you are seeking backup as well to support your business during load shedding and any other electricity supply issues. So that's the desktop feasibility. So once we've concluded that, as I mentioned, we come and sit with you and your team. We have a discussion around a budget proposal. Part of that proposal, we look at potential placement of solar panels, and this can be on your rooftop. It can also be ground mounted if you have the space available. If you have parking bays or parking structures in place already, we can retrofit possibly panels to those structures. So there's many different ways that we can consider mounting the solar panels. We'll have a discussion with you when you send us your billing, and we can see if you have a preference, whether you would prefer us to fit as many solar panels as possible onto your roof structures, and then that would give us an idea of the total system size that we could consider for your property, and what impact that system would then have on your cost of electricity and your total consumption. So that's the desktop feasibility. And once we've had an initial meeting and you are satisfied with the sort of early stage proposal that we've put forward, the next step is to record your consumption. So electricity bills are great because they give us a big picture view of your total consumption. But what we need now, especially if we are considering a battery backup solution to offer you support during load shedding or electricity supply interruption, we need to understand how your consumption profile looks on a granular basis, if I can put it that way. So we need to drill down a little bit deeper, and that's where this comes into play. So we would install the data logger into the main distribution board at your premises, and we would then record your electricity consumption over a period of time, preferably a minimum of 2 weeks, because that gives us a good indication of your general activities over that period. And then if you have a nighttime load, of course it's essential to understand exactly how that load differs compared to your daytime load on a 30-minute or hourly basis. That information we then download from the data logger, and we extrapolate it over the year. So we look at your billing for 12 months, we look at the recorded data that we've extracted from your premises for the 2 weeks, we combine the information, and that gives us a much more accurate understanding of your electricity consumption, which allows us then to put forward a more accurate proposal based on actual data and information. Now, the data logging is a professional service, so we activate professional resources on our side, and there's a fee associated to the data logging. Depending on the duration of the data logger rental that you want to consider, the fee is calculated. It includes the analytics of the data, and it includes a comprehensive report where you can then visually see what your consumption profile looks like in various intervals, and you also get a recommendation of a solution and what that would look like in terms of a bill of materials. So how many panels, how many inverters, the size of the inverters, so on and so forth. Now, what we offer to our customers is, once we've initiated the data logging process, you've paid the fee, we've done the analytics, and we've given you the report. If you opt to proceed and you want us to then go ahead with the project, we offer data logging fee as a discount to the project. So we incentivize it because we believe and know from experience that this information that's extracted from the consumption profile that the data logger offers is critical to doing a comprehensive design to enable the engineers to have access to real-time data to guide them through the design process for your property. So we've done the desktop feasibility, we've done the load profiling and the data analytics, the next step is we will put forward a letter of intent. If you want to proceed based on the revised proposal and firm and final quotation, you will sign a letter of intent which basically indicates your intent to proceed with the project. We will then communicate procurement lead times and any variations or shifts that might have taken place from the date when we first started engaging with you for your solution up until the point where we are ready to start with procurement and start moving forward with the project. So once the letter of intent is signed, we then activate our full resources and team. Procurement takes place. We do hold stock in our warehouse, which allows us to start projects quite quickly, but often depending on the actual project and the bill of materials and the equipment incorporated into your design, we might need to procure specific items for your project, and we will always be forthcoming with communicating estimated times of arrival for that equipment, whether it's available locally, whether it needs to be imported. All of this information will be shared with you. Then we start with site establishment. So that means we move on to your premises and we establish the site so that we can start with the installation process. And that includes cordoning off certain areas to make sure that we have a safe working environment to be able to install all of the equipment. Also making any of your staff aware of what is taking place on the premises. And then the project begins to flow. I don't want to go into too much detail in terms of the project. We'll cover that in another video. Let's fast forward to the end of the project where installation is concluded. The majority of the site team packs up and leaves. We will then do final commissioning and testing of the system, and we will do comprehensive training for your staff and your team that will be overseeing the running of the system. You will also receive a handover file with all of the information, the data sheets, the warranty information, basic operation principles, and then contact details for our support team, as well as any support resources from the original equipment manufacturers. So you've got a comprehensive source of information that touches on every aspect of your system. Then post-commissioning and handover and training being done, we also offer a operation and maintenance schedule or program. And what this includes is different options that we can make available for the operation and maintenance of your system. And this can be on an annual basis, so for 12 months, extendable as required, and that can then just be tailored for your requirements. And just to touch lightly on that, what it includes is remote monitoring of your plant or your system, which you as the owner of the asset will also have access to, but we'll have a team on our side monitoring the performance of the plant. It will include monthly reports, so you can see the yield of the system, what your savings are, your carbon offset, so on and so forth. And then depending on the structure of the operation and maintenance program or package, it can include quarterly site visits where we would go to the site and then we would do certain checks and balances based on our standard operating procedures, just to make sure that the system is running well and producing the maximum that it can. So I hope that sheds a little bit of light onto the easy steps that we follow that simplify the process for you as a potential customer to start considering renewable energy as an option for your business. Get in touch with us on our email addresses, take a look at our website, come and see us at our offices in Meadowdale so that we can start discussing the various options and solutions available to you as a business owner.